Howdy. Have you ever seen a Pokemon and wondered, huh, what would they look like if their type was just a little different? Because I sure didn't. But suddenly, like a year or two ago, my friend Little Yoga Man released a video on how he thought a Honedge of every type would look. So here I am a year or two later with my own every type video. However, it's not going to be about Honedge. I'm not going to steal all of his ideas. Instead, I'm going to be taking a Pokemon that has already had multiple type changes based on their given appliance. You saw it from the thumbnail, so I'm not going to elaborate further. Rotom. Rotom is the electric ghost type Pokemon that is the whole gimmick that it can possess household items and any other electrical equipment. That's kinda it. Before I get into the art, I wanted to clarify the most obvious things. I will not be using these types to make new forms because they already have forms, you know what I'm saying? But just because they have these forms respectively doesn't mean that I can't use the other types. We still got 11 to use. The first type I wanted to start with was Dark type. This is the one that I instantly thought of an idea for, and this is the one that launched the entire process of the video. Dark type is usually used for mischief or some sort of scary violence type thing. However, I like the dark. To me, it's comforting and relaxed, which led to my decision to make a coffee maker. Coffee is supposed to make you awake, but it usually acts as a depressant for people who drink it frequently. To me, for a dark caffeinated drink, dark type would go to coffee. Decaf Rotom, an electric dark type. These Rotoms are very relaxed versus the other Rotom variations. Popular amongst the baristas and breweries for their quick production of coffee and lack of energy. Generally, they're easy to track because of this. The next type I worked on was the fairy type. I don't remember really why, but I thought of a pair of speakers, probably because of the couple fairy type moves that have to revolve around sound. I could have easily used a mixer for dessert baking. I could have easily used that one instead, but I feel that speakers had to be somewhere in the video, so I put them in fairy. I really like this design because I designed the speakers as if they were the face of the Rotom, but the actual little amp part on the bottom is the real face. Kind of like a small sense of mimicry. Amped Rotom, an electric fairy type. These Rotom amplify their speakers to volumes that would even hurt the ears of a Wizmo. Their bass can mimic earthquakes, truly terrifying. These Rotom have a signature ability called Subwoofer. Any sound-based moves deal more damage and can hit Pokemon with this soundproof ability. Next up is Ground type, to which I initially thought of a drill, but ended up redoing it because I wanted to keep it towards more of the household item gimmick and something not that you would have to have a lot of money to get. So I went with the jackhammer because a shovel isn't electric. Look at this fellow, he looks happy to be here. Jacked Rotom, an electric ground type. You can always find these Rotom at construction sites, happy-go-lucky and very oblivious to the world around them. The sound of their own hammer give many professors the belief that they're actually partially deaf. Now, Dragon type, it's pretty early to show off such a powerful type, but I wanted to get it out of the way because it might be my least favorite design here, maybe. I wanted to use a vacuum because that's probably maybe the closest thing to a dragon, because they're really loud, and if you do something wrong, it could probably have a chance of spitting out whatever they're collecting in there. Never thought I would say that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, nothing can really be said about this one any further. It's just a vacuum that looks like it wants to hurt me. Vacuum Rotom, an electric dragon type. These Rotom are extremely aggressive with the ability to fly faster than a regular Rotom can move. These Rotom are considerably powerful against the other Rotoms, but doesn't compare to the likes of a Garchomp or a Tyranitar. Anyway, next up, Rock type. I got yo ass. I'm using the rock drill. No one can stop me. I couldn't think of anything else. Perhaps a stone smoother. It's dumb. I went through this in a very different way. Rather than making it to where the face is on the actual drill, instead it's on the body of it. Seemed like it was obvious, but I didn't realize that at the time. This design is obviously so much better than what I had initially, but that's because he now has a personality, as if he doesn't know what's on top of him, but he's about to find out. Drill Rotom, an electric rock type. These Rotom are extremely top heavy, having no base to the strong and sharp edged drill at their top. However, they are very helpful Pokemon as it turns out, taking time out of the way to help others while progressively being like a Tauros in a china shop. Next up, Steel type. This type I wanted to become a Jokemon, because not only is there so many appliances to span upon, but because there's only one that could fit this type. A clothing iron. It's in the name, dude. I also like the aspect where the ghostly arms look like flowing cloths. I also had trouble making the face look right side up, so instead I just kind of turned it upside down, which made it look a lot more of a Jokemon than anything else. Iron Rotom, an electric steel type. We honestly don't know how this one exists. For some reason, this Rotom has a godlike defense. We tested it through many trials, not even Fire manages to escape it somehow. What does it do? Help moms. This thing could be the world's greatest tank, but it decides to be friendly. This Rotom is pretty OP, all things considered from a defense perspective, but it's still weak to types like fighting. Speaking of, the fighting type Rotom is based on the arcade machines that calculate your score based on how hard you hit the thing on the thing. This one being the biggest, but likely the most wholesome. The gentle giant trope. The pose showing off the movement that you would normally don't see within most Pokemon poses. Nothing wrong with a bit of static, but I prefer more emotion, which this has. I won't bother mentioning colors because they all just kind of stay the same. Brawler Rotom, an electric fighting type. These Pokemon can be found in any major city, arcades, boxing rings, etc. Its face is capable of showing off scores of how hard you hit its cushion, which holds no electricity despite the aura being the strongest there. Poison. Now this one was difficult, because no one wants an appliance that hurts them in any way, right? Then Little Yoga Man helped me out and suggested a fog machine, which made every bit of sense, because fogs and gases are usually supposed to be toxic, but a fog machine isn't. But it looks the part. Foggy Rotom, an electric poison type. These Rotom don't really take interest in trainers and have the lowest energy output out of all the Rotoms. We don't have much information on these guys. They're just kind of here. Forgot to put this in the initial script, which is... But normal type. It was difficult to decide what to use. The initial thought process was, what was the most common appliance in a kitchen? But the most common ones, fridge, oven, etc., were already taken. So I chose the toaster. Everyone had a toaster before an air fryer, which is now super common. Toasters are better anyway, though. Toaster Rotom, an electric normal type. This Rotom literally does nothing. It is perfectly content with staying in a kitchen and casually being used every once in a while. It can only produce enough energy to burn Chose to a charred dust. Psychic type was really fun to design. Psychic includes the ability of illusion, since it's like magic and shit. The modern equivalent of illusion is television. This guy is like a box TV, with the aura thing acting as like a TV antenna. I'm a huge fan of the smile that I made for this one as well. In all of the designs, I really like the expression in every single one of them, especially the one after this. Vision Rotom, an electric psychic type. Vision Rotoms are known for being the most hostile kind of Rotom, making perfect projections of trainers and Pokemon alike, utilizing this to cause mischief and chaos. However, they haven't actually done anything bad yet. The final type of this video is the bug type, which I had the most fun drawing and rendering. Everything to what it's based off of, to how its eyes look like a bug, and the appliance in question is those lantern bug zapper things, which was just perfect. This one's hands down my favorite design. Bugger Rotom, an electric bug type. Buggers are the oddballs of the Rotom family. They can go exceedingly fast for sure. However, they don't really do much other than sit in people's yards. Some say that they get into brawls with Yanmegas and Scolopedes. The credibility, however, isn't really trustworthy. And with that, we have a Rotom of every type. This was actually so fun to do, and if you enjoyed it as much as I did, consider subscribing and joining the Discord server, which has a link in the description. And yeah, we also have an event that's happening. You got till the end of this month, which, me looking at my screen, it's not very long. You have like 3 days as a recording. But if you can manage to pull something in right there, I'll have it to ya. But yeah, we got an event happening. So yeah, I'm gonna go hide from Nintendo. See you guys.